This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. By Fifth Third Bank, official bank of the Nashville Predators and Bridgestone Arena. Member FDIC. And by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers.
At Bridgestone Arena, Predators and the Los Angeles Kings and our Toyota starting goaltenders tonight. Terry?
For the visiting L.A. Kings, they are starting with one of their young. Ben Scrivens gets the call for his team, and for the hometown, well, Marek Mazanec gets the call for the hometown Nashville Predators.
So, a change in goal for Nashville. The officials tonight, Dan O'Rourke is the chief referee. Chris Lee joins him. Brian Vancich, Johnny Murray will call play along the lines. And the Kings will begin with the Jarrett Stoll line. Dustin Brown on the left. And on the right side, Justin Williams. Backed up by Willie Mitchell on D. As the puck comes down behind the Nashville net and picked up there by Matthias Ekholm. Chopped away. Taken out, and cross ice it comes, just slightly tapped by Patrick Hornqvist, who runs into Mitchell, putting it low in the LA zone. Drew Doughty tried to put it up the board, slid behind the net for Wilson. Wilson has a man in front, and Hornqvist's shot was blocked as he cut across in front of the Los Angeles net. Williams making a move, coming in left side, trying to flip it across for Brown, who was covered. Doughty chops the puck down. Predators.
Gives you an inclination, Pete. Doughty was the guy in on that first rush down there, and he's a defenseman.
Yep.
Tells you where LA is coming from tonight.
Regier with a shot, and it's swept down into the LA zone. This will be an icing call on Nashville. Let's get to our Ford keys, Terry.
All right, the first key night is for the Predators. Meet the challenge. Shake off the Dallas loss. Shake off the travel. Shake off any other excuses, because Coach Straw says no excuses. Get physical tonight. Finish. Shots on nets means nothing. Scoring chances, nothing. Posts mean nothing. You know what finish means? You got to score goals, and that's what Nashville has got to start to do. Score some goals.
Off the draw, Kings win it. A shot deflected to the end board. Ekholm tries to get on it immediately, and it's jabbed back to center ice. Regier goes on with Voynov. Kopitar circles back to the LA line. Regier directs it in. King goes down after it. Dwight King. His first name is not Los Angeles, as the puck is taken away by Kopitar. Legwand comes over to meet him behind the net. And the puck back to the end wall. Thrown toward the net, deflected away, short side, and out to center ice it comes. Alec Martinez on it for Los Angeles. Flips it back in the zone. Martinez, the Michigan native, swings it in. Pass is tipped but not out by Smith. A shot from the right point goes wide. Down the wall. Right side of Mazanec. Taken now by Richards. Tapped away from him. Predators start out with it. Craig Smith trying to get around Green. And we have here the chance to tell you our injury report, brought to you by Vanderbilt Sports Medicine. The Kings have Jonathan Quick on injured reserve. They scratched Dan Carcillo, Matt Fratton, and Colin Fraser tonight. The Predators, Pekka Rinne on injured reserve and scratching Rich Clune and Victor Bartley. So Matt Cullen is out on his right side. He has Victor Stahlberg, and the puck swept out over the line by Carter. Comes back over and sent down the boards. Interesting combination tonight. Ellis is out there along with Kevin Klein. Here's Jake Muzzin coming in across the line. His shot handled in the midsection there by Marek Mazanec.
Head coach Barry Trotz looking for some kind of offense, shaking up his units, Pete, defensively and on the forward units, trying to get something going. There's 13-1-2 and they score first. So if you're standing there where Barry Trotz is right now, if you're looking at that stat, you're thinking, okay, boys, let's score first. But Pete, talking with LA have not allowed a first period goal against them in 21 of their last 23 games. So obviously, if you're going to score against LA in the first period, you're going to earn it.
That's just ridiculous, that figure.
Isn't it, though?
I mean, it's absolutely incomprehensible. Kings going with 7D tonight. One of them flattened back in the LA zone. And now we're going to have a scrap result. Going away right now, Matt Hendricks and Kyle Clifford. Hendricks slips, picks himself back up. We are 2:43 into this one. And now time to break up the scrap.
So Hendricks lays a hit down on one end, Pete. And as you mentioned, right comes big Kyle Clifford right back after Hendricks saying, no, we're not going to accept that. So Hendricks right off the bat. And I'm thinking it might have been Voinov. Was it he connected with down in the far side?
That's who I thought it was, yeah.
And then Clifford says, okay, let's get this thing settled early.
So Hendricks and Kyle Clifford at 2:43 of the first period. So the Kings going with a 7D lineup tonight as the officials conferred the official scorers table. It's Chris Lee trying to pass along the directions there. Head coach Darryl Sutter of the Los Angeles Kings. The third team he has coached against the Predators in the Predators' 15 years. Prior to that, San Jose Sharks and then the Calgary Flames.
And led these Los Angeles Kings to the Stanley Cup Championship in 2012. A 16-4 record he had. I mean, this man his record's unbelievable, Pete. I mean, he leads the Kings to the first ever Stanley Cup. He's took Calgary Flames to the Stanley Cup Finals. He won first place in the Norris Division. Chicago, he led San Jose the first place in the Pacific Division. Wherever he goes, he just wins.
Now they are giving an instigator, as I understand, to Kyle Clifford. So the Predators are going to get a power play out of this. So Terry, how critical has the power play been to the Predators' success?
It is a must. When we score a power play goal, our record is phenomenal. Like, I don't know, 13-200, something like that along those lines. But as of late, remember it was carrying us for a long time. Then it's gone a little dry. Good time tonight to kick it back into gear.
So Weber on one side and the puck taken away. Skating in, and that shot goes off Mazanet's side. Trevor Lewis out with Stool as a penalty killing forward for Los Angeles. Weber across for Josi. Right in front and coming on, trying to put it away, Mike Fisher. And the puck is cleared back in the Nashville zone. Fisher waits up near the blue line. Legwand curls up the left board. And Patrick Hornqvist waiting at the left wing on the blue line. Weber powers it in. Kopitar is on now with Dwight King as a penalty killing forward for Los Angeles. Fisher for Weber. Josi, the angle, and his pass goes behind Fisher. Straight away to Weber, and that shot tipped up over the crossbar. Regier tries to take it away, and the net is knocked off its peg. And let's see if there's going to be another call on that.
And Hornqvist heading right to the bench, Pete, with his hand up. And Fisher just earlier, Pete, put one out of the slot right over the net on the power play. And I'm thinking that, I don't know, Hornqvist went immediately to the bench, Pete, and they're looking at him on the bench right now. He must have taken a slash because he didn't even hesitate. He just took right off.
On his left hand. So another unit out up front for Nashville. Ellis and Jones at the points. As the puck is drilled in by Seth Jones around the wall. The old Flyer tandem out as penalty killing forwards. Richards and Carter. And with 45 seconds to go, it is stopped behind the net by Mazanets. Seth Jones, a backhand feed into the zone. That one in, and that will be an icing call. Too far ahead there for Nick Spaulding. So let's examine again Patrick Hornqvist in front of the net.
So he's down in front of the net, Pete. I'm trying to see if he's moving. So now he's going behind the net.
That was his left hand that trainer Andy Hostler was.
You know what? His
taking.
stick got caught in the goaltender as he went around behind the net. It might have jerked back on his wrist or his shoulder a little bit, maybe. It's about all I can see, because nobody hit him or slashed him.
Puck back at center. 21 seconds remaining in the penalty.
So Kopi's all right.
Ellis deals it in. Craig Smith on it versus Willie Mitchell. Green tried to play it away. Stoll will take care of that for Los Angeles. So far, the Predators 2 shots on goal on this power play, as the power play now has expired. Predators bring it in. Gostad has now going down after losing his stick in the process. Gabby Bork up left wing side for Williams. Williams down to the corner. Here is Captain Dustin Brown. Now Williams, Shea Weber feeding the puck off the stick of Stahlberg. Back for Muzzin. His shot deflected up high and back to center ice. Muzzin dumps it back in. Gostad for Yossi. Shea Weber. Now up the right wing board. The linesman gets away from it. As a matter of fact, we've had a change in linesman from the assigns tonight, as that shot taken by Toffoli was blocked. Brian Pansich is not here. Brian Mock is. This is Drew Doughty going back just ahead of Mike Fisher. Up the left side for Kopitar, who kicked it onto his stick. Kopitar down the left, tried to center. Right in front was Toffoli. That didn't work out. Dwight King checked against the boards.
2 sevens on the ice, Pete, so good sign.
Yeah.
He's back in action.
Here's Colin Wilson holding up, and his pass tipped ahead of Hornqvist.
Well, Pete, if I'm playing with Colin Wilson, I'm following him up there, and he has the puck, I'm going to come real late, because you know what? He's going to find you.
That's right.
He's going to make that curly Q play. He's going to hold, delay, and he will find you.
Now there's a backhander off the glove of Mazanec to the corner.
Finding it.
Yes. And out of play it goes. A deflection with 6:32 gone in the period. Predators and the Kings are 0-0. The shots favoring LA 3-2.
Tonight's Hunt Brothers Pizza Save of the Week. Right now, purchase a ticket for the January 7th game against San Jose and get a ticket for the January 12th game against Minnesota for free. To order Save of the Week, call 615-770-7800 or go to NashvillePredators.com/Save of the Week.
Face off to the right side of Marek Mazanec. Stoll versus Gostad. Stoll pulls it back. Brown is shot at a rebound off the stick of Mazanec. Predators take it away. Down the boards on the left wing. Big hit Muzzin puts on Spaulding there. Another big hit follows up, and the puck comes away to Los Angeles. Williams goes after it down against the end wall. My apologies. I was not anticipating any sneezes coming up, folks. I'm sorry for that. Just left field, sneeze, left field. Seth Jones in the Nashville zone for Mattias Ekholm. Off the skate of Jones, backhanded out by Martinez. Stopped by Ekholm, sent back in. Ekholm goes off with Jones. Kevin Klein, Ryan Ellis come on defensively. Here's the puck turned over to the side of the net. Alec Martinez off a shin at center and picked up now by Jordan Nolan. Nolan wanting to drive to the net, directed down behind it. He backhands out for Mitchell. Mitchell's pass toward Doughty, hacked out of there by Bork. Picked up Stahlberg. Stahlberg with a step there on Nolan and missed the net. But a good idea by Victor Stahlberg.
And showing good speed, Pete. Right off the bat, he just jumped on that loose puck and just outraced everybody to it. And he's got a quick release when he comes down off that. If he ever starts to hit the net, he could become dangerous. Well, the other night, he hit 2 posts.
Yes, he did. So that's close.
That's close.
That's close. Here
like
now,
I said, doesn't do much for you.
No.
Finish. One of our keys.
King still on his backhand as he goes to the corner. Lays it off there. Turning and firing, missing the net. King. Kopitar on the rebound. Ajay Kopitar turns back inside on Shea Weber. Trying to shake himself free. No easy task. And the shot by Carter off the side was blocked. Given back to Carter, and his shot off the stick of Mazanec. Tipped up in the corner. King going after it. Yossi backhands on the right board.
He's going down everywhere, Pete. Both teams hitting, sliding, up, back, hit, down, up again.
Well, the body shots the Kings can deliver are considerable. And that's the way to do it after the Predators played last night.
Yep. Second in 2 nights. Tire him out early.
Turning there was King. Picking up Kopitar. Kopitar, and there's a big rebound given up by Mazanec and backhanded out by Craig Smith.
Kopitar's got to be tired of seeing number 6 Weber, because that whole shift, everywhere Kopitar turned, big number 6 was staring him right in the face or trying to get a piece of him somewhere.
Here's Williams. He was trying to set up Brown, cutting up the middle. Richards cross-iced for Doughty. Doughty with the try, deflected away from in front of the Nashville goal. Williams out high with the puck. Trying to lead for Muzzin, tapped out by Hornqvist. An alert play there by Patrick Hornqvist. Blocked at the line by Fisher. Muzzin regains for Doughty. 9:53 off the clock here in the first. Shots favoring the Kings 7-2 over Nashville. Flipped at the line by Toffoli. It's going to be offside, and that one goes out of play up in the netting. 10 minutes, 4 seconds have been played in the first period. Kings and the Predators are 0-0 at Bridgestone.
The Predators bench with Matthias Ekholm. Matthias, kind of a measured start for both teams. Is this the first 10 minutes kind of two teams feeling each other out?
Yeah, it seems like that. We're trading a little bit of chances, and we just got to keep working harder and get some chances offensively.
Got to like the start. Matt Hendricks doing everything he can in his first shift to get things going the right way.
Oh, that's great. It's great to see. He's committed to this game and just get the energy going for the boys.
Thanks for this, Matty.
No problem.
Okay, from the Predators bench, guys, you sure got to like Matt Hendricks' first shift. You might call that the Grinders hat trick. Big hit, a fight, and draws a minor penalty in the process. Coach, back up to you guys.
And he's lined up with Kyle Clifford for the face-off here as play resumes.
Well, I can remember when Stu Grimson used to draw 2 out of the 3. Big hit and a good fight.
Yeah.
Not sure if Stu ever drew a penalty.
He might have.
He might have been on the other end getting a few.
Yeah. Let's look up that hockey DB record again. Predators move the puck up to Gaustad. Gaustad on his backhand, flipped it in front. And the Kings, Green, almost put it on his goalie. There's a follow-up, missing the net by Nystrom. Hendricks actually tripped his teammate there, Gaustad. Around to the opposite side. Line pitches on Clifford. And Clifford gets it out to center ice. And falling down, going back to the bench for the change was Ryan Ellis. Again, Terry, as you said, bodies are flying here tonight. And with some difficulty getting back to the bench is Matt Hendricks.
And I think he just received a bit of a shot from Kyle Clifford.
Yeah.
Because how those two had introduced themselves to each other a little earlier.
Now behind the defense coming on, and that shot stopped by Mazanec. Breaking in was Carter. Holding on is Drew Doughty. Doughty tapped away from him for just a moment. He goes to retrieve it off the left board. Kopitar. Now it's back out for Doughty. Doughty in a step and takes the shot that is gloved down by Mazanec.
So Jeff Carter, Pete, sort of hiding behind everybody on our far blue line, and he just takes a perfect pass between all the gold jerseys, and he's off to the races on a breakaway. Mazanec to the rescue on this, but Pete, head on a swivel. Be aware of who they are. Jeff Carter, how well do we know this guy?
Real
He's done
well.
nothing but
2
score
hat-tricks
goals.
worth.
No kidding. He's done nothing but score goals against us. When 77's out there, it's like when Phil Esposito wore the number heads up. You know where he is. You watch him. He's dangerous.
Well, don't just watch him.
Oh, yeah, get close to getting his jersey or something.
Find out what he had for dinner. Here is Stoll on the end board. Flipped up. And now quickly across for Regeer, who breaks it out to center. Down the right wing side. Falling down is Brown. Puck picked up by Williams. to the blue line. Voinov a shot stopped, and the rebound is deflected wide from right in front of the net by Dustin Brown. To the point, Voinov shot. That one blocked by Colin Wilson. Fisher is on Dustin Brown as he tries to power his way around behind the Nashville goal. Fisher takes the puck away, and it's tipped out. Regeer back just ahead of Hornqvist. Turning the corner, dumped back in by Fisher. Ben Scrivens, last year a Toronto Maple Leaf, stopped the puck for Los Angeles. Into the Nashville end. Klein got tied up there by Lewis.
Kevin Klein on the pregame with Stu Grimson on the bench in the opening said, Stu asked him about the LA forwards. Big Sly said, yeah, we have to box them out. He says, we're going to have to work at it. It's not going to be easy. No. He says, we got to get them out to the front of the net, keep them out of the perimeter of the slot area. Well, easier said than done. That last one, though, I got to tell you, Fisher did a great job on Dustin Brown in front. Fisher was the last man back to take him. And he's
thrown right in front of deflected wide. Excuse me there, Terry, by the pass across from Cullen for Stahlberg. The angle was just slightly off. Lewis lofts it. Yossi away from Kopitar to Weber. Taking the puck through the blue line and back. Mitchell around the wall. Legwand on the left half board. And it comes away and is fired wide of the net off the left board. Bumping there was Weber out high with Jordan Nolan. A couple of big customers colliding. Now Craig Smith backhand trying the wraparound. And the puck comes all the way out for Weber. Here's Craig Smith. Legwand to the blue line. And it fluffed off the stick of Captain Shea Weber. Legwand just got it around Kings forward Kyle Clifford. To center ice. Blocked by Clifford. Taken and sent into the zone by Craig Smith as the Predators want to change. 5:31 remaining in the first. 0-0. Predators and the Kings. Predators playing their second game since the break. The Kings their first. Here's Seth Jones with a try. Blocked in the circle. Taken by Fisher. His try no, but the rebound backhanded home by Patrick Hornqvist. Predators take a 1-0 lead at 14:42.
Hornqvist picking up on that good rebound. Fisher, the good shot from it. And nice sustained attack by the Predators on this one. The really first one in this period that they've had sustained attack. And just hanging around the net. Hornqvist gets rewarded for it on a nice rebound on a shot by Fisher, who put it through traffic on net. And that's one of our keys. Thank you, Patrick Hornqvist, for the finish in front of the net.
Hornqvist gets his 8th. Predators take a lead here tonight.
And if I'm not mistaken, that would be the first goal scored against the LA Kings in the first period in their last 22 games. Yowie.
No, he's on the bench.
I think it's a ship.
Yeah. Here's Toffoli with the try, deflected up into the netting as he came down the right wing. So Hornqvist from Fisher and Jones, and 14:42. Predators in front, 1-0 over Los Angeles.
The two amigos. You got Hornqvist in front of the net. You got Fisher's going to be the trigger man. Go ahead and roll it. Fisher goes to the slot area. Why? The most dangerous spot on the ice. Gets the puck, takes a shot. Guess who's hanging around? Little rebound. Turns around. Little flip backhand into the empty net. Thank you for getting paid for being in front of the net this time, Patrick. Normally you get a face wash, a slash, or a trip. This time you get a goal.
He managed to elude Slava Voinov there and have a clear backhand shot at it. Gostad out for the draw against Carter. Deflected from Muzzin. Taken out high by Kopitar. King. A battle with Shea Weber. Kopitar comes down to help out. Yossi adds in for Nashville. Then Gaustad comes over. Predators have no one in front of the net. And the puck was tipped in front. Carter tried to throw it on. Blocked by Weber, recovering back into the play.
Nice alert play by Mazanec on that one. The puck was coming right through his crease. He got the big paddle out, deflected it out of harm's way.
This will be an icing on Nashville. So there, I was seeing unfold a bit of a violation of the old Tom Watt rule. Well, let's see how the Predators are when scoring first this year, Tim.
Well, we mentioned earlier when scoring first. Yep, 13-1-2. So let's hope that holds true for tonight. Now, a lot of hockey left, but it's nice finally to get the first start, the first jump on a team that has been on a pretty good roll as of late. The LA Kings, believe me, are one of the hotter teams in the NHL right now.
The only time you know for sure that's going to work is when the only goal of the game, and you score it, comes at 19:59 of the third.
That's right, and they got to go to center and drop the puck, and you leave 5 guys in the blue line.
That's right. Here's a shot by Lewis. That deflected off his teammate to Foley. Taken away by Josi. Trying to bump that out was Craig Smith. And there the shot blocked in front yet again. Gaustad will flip it in. Gets a hit from Green before going back to the bench. It is clear what was preached to the Kings. Finish your checks.
Yeah. They played last night. Tire them out.
Ellis with Cullen curling up the left side. And he goes to Kevin Klein. And got behind Stallberg. Cullen goes behind the net. Voinov lost the puck momentarily to Cullen. Willie Mitchell comes over. Tries to squeeze out Bourque.
Could you ever understand, Pete, why guys are surprised when they get hit?
Yeah.
Because in hockey, the first thing you assume, the guy coming at you, he's going to hit you.
There's a good chance.
And I'd sooner be ready to be hit than be surprised and say, what's going on?
And there was a feed in front, but bounced away on Bourque.
If you've got the puck, and you're going to make a play and somebody's coming, 8 out of 10 times they're going to finish their check on it.
Yeah.
You should be ready. That time Kevin Klein took a shot along the boards, not prepared at all, and he's the one who had the puck and passed it. Be prepared, Boy Scout motto.
Williams took a hit by the bench. Voinov turns. Now for Regeer. Up the left side. Clifford, no. Hornqvist for Fisher. Back to Hornqvist. Hornqvist with the shot deflected wide off Clifford. Jordan Nolan directs it up, but taken back by Fisher. Fisher has Wilson in front, jabbed out front. Rebound came out a little bit higher to Shea Weber. And then it is Kyle Clifford who clears it back into the Nashville zone. Jordan Nolan, Pan trying to get the pass away off the left board. Colin Wilson's pass. Blocked on the sidewall by Drew Doughty. Clifford turns. Josi goes back in front of the net, but the pass goes back from the Kings into their zone. 1:45 remaining in the first. Predators up 1-0. Patrick Hornqvist 8 of 8 of the year. Jeff Carter tonight. We talk about a guy who tries to produce offense every time out there. 8 shot attempts against the Predators. 4 on goal. 4 were either at the net or blocked. So attempted 8. He's not forgotten his lessons of what he's done against this uniform. Green behind the net. Tapped away by Hendricks. Hendricks and Toffoli uses the wall to chip it out. Picked up again. Jabbed at the line for Richards. He fanned a couple of times on it. Toffoli got a shot away, and a tough one it was, as it was covered up by Mazanec with just under a minute to go. Coming up in our first intermission for you tonight, a visit by Predators players going to Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. Stu will have an interview downstairs outside the Predators room, and we will have highlights. We'll also hear from head coach Barry Trotz. You might ask, how do you get all of that information in such a brief period of time? Our team can do it. Off the faceoff, Josi tipped away from Legwand. Doughty tried to come on clear with it. Doughty now for Kopitar. Kopitar was Doughty waiting. That stick was ready to take the shot. Williams comes out. Very shifty is he, and his shot was tipped wide in front of that. Kopitar tried to shovel home the rebound. Weber for Fisher, and then Legwand got it out of there. 32 seconds to go in the period. Mitchell Gave it back, and now Doughty for Kopitar. Kopitar flipped back over, and Kopitar was in too tight, and that pass was tipped up too high. Kopitar to the blue line. Doughty faked initially. Now he winds it down. Legwand in the trapezoid just got it around Williams. Craig Smith has it. He will backhand it out. Doughty slows it down inside the LA line, and that's going to do it for the first period. In the first period, the Predators leave it with a 1-0 lead as Patrick Hornqvist got a rebound of a Mike Fisher shot at 14:42. One power play in the period. The Predators did not tally on that. The Kings with 11 shots on Marek Mazanec. The Predators had 7 on Ben Scrivens, and they lead this affair 1-0 after 1.
Closing in on the second period here at Bridgestone Arena, the Predators not backing down from LA's physical play and leading so far 1-0. Patrick Hornqvist with the goal. Let's go back downstairs where Stu Grimson is with Coach Trotz. Stu?
Thanks, Mark. Joined outside the Predators locker room by Coach Trotz after a period of hockey. Coach, almost seemed like a tale of two different looks that period. In the first half, LA's got you holed up in your own zone a little bit, but you flip the tables on them. You're generating chances at the other end, kind of towards the back half.
Yeah, absolutely. They came out quick. I think they knew that we played last night, got in late. They wanted to jump on us early. We haven't had great first period, so I think part of the game plan was for them to come out real hard, and they did. And they got some dynamic people up front, but they're a big team, and they'll grind down low. And you saw they just ground down low and worked us, especially our young defense. So they worked them hard. But I thought we bent, didn't break, and then we were able to sort of turn and flip it on them and get a little bit of a forecheck on their defense, and then obviously we ended up scoring a goal.
Thanks for this, Coach. Good luck in the second.
All right, thank you.
Okay, that's Coach Trotz after a single period of hockey. Pete and Terry for the call of the second. Let's head over to you guys.
All right, thank you, Stu. And the Predators start the second period with Fisher between Wilson and Hornqvist, backed up by Ekholm and Jones. And again, the Kings playing tonight with a 7-defenseman lineup. So Mitchell is on to get things started with Drew Doughty. And we're underway with the second. Stoll backhands. Brown goes after it. Mazanec slowed it down somewhat in the trapezoid. Ekholm tries to keep the pace up. And it's back now to the Los Angeles line. Doughty. With his outlet circling up, it's Stoll. Angles it in. Seth Jones back there. Did you notice that, Terry? Ekholm did a good job of slowing down the forechecker Williams.
Without taking a penalty.
Yes.
And that's rare in this game now.
Yes, it is.
Touch a guy. Boom. You're gone.
It was more like a brush. It was more like a brush than an out-and-out touch.
Shadow dance, son.
Yes.
Shadow dance like you used to in high school. Well,
You did it in high school?
no, I'm lying to you. But it's not a shadow dance.
Outlet pass. Tipped out at center. Kopitar shovels back in. Kopitar between King and Carter. Up the left wing side for Josi. Flings it in. Spalling to the end board. And away from Legwand by Kopitar. Here comes Dwight King. Down the corner. Spalling stuck with him, and it bounces to David Legwand on the right wing side, who chips it out. Interesting atmosphere here tonight.
It is, Pete. For one thing, we kept saying it's not really. The Saturday Night Smashville haven't started to roar yet, but they will before the night's over.
And the Predators
We'll
are
hear
up
the
1-0. Mazanec gives it to Josi. Almost tied him up there.
Josi
man.
wasn't expecting that, wondering what Mazanec is going to do with it.
Yeah. Richards out of that right corner. And the puck is tipped out instead of going straight to Doughty. And it is Scrivens trying to keep it away there from Stahlberg. Up the wall, Tyler Toffoli. Lewis has it. He tips it in, and the Kings go for a change. On offense. Gesundheit, I know, up the right wing side. Tipped away from Nystrom in ahead of Hendricks. Tipped there, that attempted out by Doughty, but Carter gets it and flings it in wide. Kyle Clifford, into the corner. Jordan Nolan. The size mismatch there with Ryan Ellis.
In the first period, Jordan Nolan must have knocked Ellis down about 3 times.
Yes.
And I think this time Ryan Ellis said, maybe I get a little payback. A little tough to do, though.
A little bit, yeah.
It's a little tough, but he was doing his best to get some payback for it.
Voinov back with Mitchell. Here it comes right side for Fisher. Fisher looking. He decided to take the shot rather than the pass to Ekholm, which looked like it was going to be covered. And the puck taken behind the LA net. 3:25 gone, second period. And a dangerous pass there to Voinov. Hornqvist almost took it straight away. Given down for Colin Wilson. A collision outside, and we've got a penalty coming up here against Los Angeles. Mike Fisher shaken up. Goes to get his stick back and steps back in. And Fisher, I think, is a little bit outraged here.
He is a little upset on that one. I'll tell you right now he is.
Let's see what the call is. Because Fisher was staggered by a hit by the Predator bench.
And it's the guy we were just talking about, Jordan Nolan, Pete, who's been running around. In the first period, he's running around, taking some liberties. And then this one, he takes on Smith and Fisher right into the boards on that one. And he had a few good hits in the first period also, so I'm thinking that Jordan Nolan
called for boarding.
Is following coach's orders and trying to wear him down all by himself.
Yeah. So the Predators get the second power play of the game. Normally Fisher is on that unit, the first one. And at home, the Predators fourth in the league, converting 25%. Taken away, however, by Lewis, and he'll skate out with it and flip it into the Nashville zone. Lewis and Stoll, the penalty-killing forwards, to get it started for Los Angeles. Predators up 1-0. Trying to extend that here in the power play. Spaulding, it came back to him as he tried to set up Cullen, breaking down the left wing. And the pass comes out across the line on Seth Jones. Jones fading back in. Stoll will peel back to the LA bench. Carter is on now with Richards. Cullen's pass right side, dropped off. Coming on late, Seth Jones. His glass, big rebound given up. And the puck is tapped away from Carter. Greg Smith got a piece of it, tries to come out in front. Blocked there by Regeer. Off the side of the LA net. Taken out the other way. Here's Seth Jones. Goes across to the right point. Shot tipped in front. Scrivens didn't see it. And Cullen tried to loft it over him before the puck is secured. 59 seconds remaining in the penalty.
So doing their best down low, Pete, to make it happen. And I'm not sure if Spaulding was the one, I think, was standing in front of Scriven, looking for any kind of loose puck hanging around. Cullen deflected it down low. The puck went down underneath through Scriven. And Spaulding doing a good job of trying to get to it. Then he gets buried. Robin Regeer comes in and buries him into the pile, but scoring chance by Cullen and Spaulding on the power play.
Kings control the face-off. Kopitar brings it out. Is that a pitching wedge? Looked like it. King goes down there and held up Roman Josi for just a moment. David Legwand for Josi. Cross ice, Legwand at center. Flings it in, left side to right. Kopitar turns, gives it to his D-man, and that goes bouncing back in the Nashville zone. 30 seconds remaining on Jordan Nolan's penalty for boarding Mike Fisher. Legwand looking to his right. And that pass caromed out. Predators have to get reorganized at center ice. Fisher around Stoll. Trying to go around everybody, actually, as he goes down the left wing side. Stoll got it back, and it's flipped down ice by Mitchell off the end board. Zanet's there to keep it away from Williams. Did so just momentarily, and that will do it for the Predator power play. They had 3 shots on the Los Angeles net. Richards tapped it with the backhand. Jabbed at by Stallberg. Knocked down Gaustad. Gaustad sends it in. Scrivens cuts it off behind the LA net. Backhands for Slava Voinov. Voinov got his pass through. Here is Richards carrying up ice. He finds Nolan, who's just served his penalty. Delay penalty call coming up on the Predators. As the Predators play the puck, tripping is being signaled at 6:17. So the Kings will have a power play, trailing by 1 here in the second period. Paul Gaustad will take a seat for Nashville.
Gaustad on the forecheck, a little too forward on it. Pete takes in, skate gets caught up underneath. And yes, that would be designated as a trip.
So Slava Voinov went down.
Yepper. So now, LA Kings with a crack on the power play.
And of course, you know, that throws things off, right? Gaustad usually is the first pair out to kill.
And big on the face-offs also for puck possession.
Carter, Kopitar, Richards across the front for Los Angeles. Voinov and Doughty, the point man. Puck right in front. And Kopitar flipped it up high. Carter goes back to keep it in play. Doughty. As Richards shovels over for Carter.
If you're a youngster and you want to do some video, watch Kopitar out there. He never stops. He never sits still. He's moving forward, backwards, sideways, in the slot, out of the will-o'-the-wisp, like a guy we used to remember by the name of Bret Hart.
A lot of fast twitch muscles.
Man, there he's not there. There he's not there. Suddenly, goal scorer that is, he's mostly there.
Yeah. Voinov across, Doughty. Voinov fakes. Here's Kopitar. And he scores! Kopitar put it away on the power play to tie the game at 1 at 7:05 of the second period.
Ouch.
Not much you can do on that one.
And I say ouch, Pete, because Kopitar, from where he was, and that's a wrist shot, he just snapped that puck on the perfect little pass, pump, fake, over to Kopitar, opened him up. And I got to tell you, that is just flat out between Kopitar and Mazanec. And Mazanec was screened totally, I'm almost thinking, by his own defenseman on that one, because that puck was up. Now, take nothing away from the shot by Kopitar, I'm telling you. He just snapped that baby high up top corner. But if you take a look at the goal, right in front of Mazanec was number 59.
So Kopitar at 7:05 of the power play. Tying things up, a goal each. So Voinov and Doughty will have the assists on that. As they move the puck out high. Now Stoll with Fisher. Matthias Ekholm. Around Colin Wilson. Green tried to break it up. Wilson deflected it in. Flipped out by Williams. 1-1 is the score. Hornqvist for Nashville, even strength. And the power play, Andrzej Kopitar for LA. Mino icing here was deflected on its way down ice. Green behind the Los Angeles net.
Number 8, Drew Doughty. Found the goal, 7 minutes, 5 seconds.
Down the right wing. Here is Stoll. Off the glass, up behind the net. Seth Jones was able to get it to Cullen. Predators come out with the numbers right now. 4-on-2, now 3-on-1. Delayed penalty call coming up, and Cullen stripped of the puck by Brown. So it's 7:55. The Predators will have a power play.
So Kopitar just put his team even on a power play shot. Now Nashville gets a chance to answer back on it. So
here's Jake Muzzin.
Jake Muzzin, 6'3", 217 pounds from Woodstock, Ontario, down near my area of the country.
Right up in the face of Seth Jones.
Yeah, he wasn't he?
Yep.
Big man. You can be up in the face, you can't put the elbow up there. You cannot do that.
So Predators get the power play. This will be their third chance. They are nothing of their previous 2 with 5 shots. Three regular penalty killing pairs for LA. And they'll start with Kopitar and Lewis. Kopitar took the spot of Stoll. And the puck is nudged out inadvertently by Fisher. So Muzzin was called for elbowing on Seth Jones. 1-1 the score. Legwand sends it in deep. Regier reverses. Doughty drills it between the point men. Shots are 14-10, favoring Los Angeles. Score is 1-1. Josi flings it in. On the offside, Weber comes down. Tapped it behind the net. Drilled away from Legwand. Sent back for Josi. Weber comes out to accept the pass to his more normal position. Legwand. With Fisher breaking his shot. Big rebound off the pads of the Scrivens there. And sent back now to Josi again. Weber fires one. Missed it. Pulled it to the short side. And the puck will rebound all the way into the Nashville zone. Up for Shea Weber. Slowed down by Green. Penalty call coming up here. A penalty here as Mitchell plays it with 47 seconds remaining on the Muzzin penalty.
So a good chance. I mean, a good solid chance here for Nashville. A 5-on-3. 47 seconds remaining in Muzzin's penalty. And then joining his teammate is number 2, Matt Green.
Green for slashing. He broke the stick of Shea Weber. So 47 seconds of this 5-on-3. And a timeout taken by the Predators here at 9:08. Good idea.
Trotz, yep, knowing that his troops played last night, been out for a while. Okay, let's go over the strategy. We all know it. We know what's expected of it. We've practiced it enough times. We've done enough drills in practice. Let's just refresh ourselves. Oh, by the way, give each other a little breather.
Predators have scored on 3 5-on-3s this season. The Kings have allowed 1.
LA Kings on the penalty kill, 6th best in the NHL, so they're not shabby at it.
No, but what a test it is, the 5-on-3. So Doughty comes out, along with Willie Mitchell. Jarrett Stoll, the only forward. It's Fisher, Legwand, Hornqvist across the front. Josi and Weber. As the puck is dropped, and the Kings are able to clear.
Foul penalty, 9 minutes, 18 seconds. It's Green, 0 slashing at 9:18.
Legwand wheels in. 32 seconds left of the 2-man advantage. Weber to Legwand. Fisher looking back door. Weber has to stop the pass with his skate. Predators have not gotten a shot away yet. That one missed the net. 13 seconds remains on the 2-man advantage. Legwand looking across. Fisher has to retrieve it on the board. Weber cranks. That one took up off of the crossbar. Kings get a man, Jake Muzzin back. They had one shot on net. Follow up by Josi. Rebound left right there. And they pile up on top of Ben Scrivens. So power play number 4 for Nashville here with 1:06 remaining.
So Nashville moving the puck, trying to get the trigger on, trying to pull it. Weber cranked one block, pulled one, and then going to the front of net. Of course, it's Patrick Hornqvist looking around for it. Rebound laying there. Scriven gets that big right pad out. And then the pileup occurs, and Scriven manages to get on top of the puck before Hornqvist or Fisher can pick up the loose puck. So getting buried.
Oh, yeah. Now Cullen against Kopitar. 5-on-4, perhaps for a minute 6. Predators wouldn't mind if that was a short-termer. Game tied at 1. Potentially pivotal time on this power play for Nashville. Doughty with Craig Smith. Smith takes it back from Ellis. Bounces on Ellis. Kopitar approaches him. Seth Jones off the end board. Doughty goes over. Didn't get it around Craig Smith. Now he has a second try at it. That one blocked, and it goes up high to the point. Seth Jones. Cullen had some problems handling that in tight quarters, and Willie Mitchell able to clear it. 30 seconds remaining on this man advantage for Nashville. Doughty has it inside the LA line, and he will drill it. And boy, did that skip up off the chest of Marek Mazanec. Drop back for Seth Jones. Cullen flings it over. Bourque reversing. Stahlberg wanted to come out in front. It bounces to Ellis. 2 seconds left. Cullen tried to put it out in front. That's it for the power play. Kings got Green out of the box, but Seth Jones was there to cover. And the Predators had one shot on that portion of the man advantage. Voinov and Gaustad. Down to the corner, Richards. He nudges it over. Bourque is there for Nashville. Turning is Gaustad, and Scrivens is able to handle the shot. 11.5 gone in the second period. Predators and the Kings are tied at 1.
Welcome back in down here on the Preds bench with Coach Lane Lambert. Coach, in the second period, a lot more special teams. The one thing these LA Kings do pretty well, they kill penalties well. What's it take to beat them?
Well, yeah, obviously they've got they've got a really good penalty kill, and for us, as far as our penalty kill, their power play, we really needed to kill that off, and we didn't, and so that changed the momentum a little bit. We got that 5-on-3, didn't score, so momentum is momentum's shifting a little bit. But what they do very well is they're big bodies, and so you've got to win battles down low. You got to win battles on dump-ins and things like that. And you got to win battles in front of the net. So they're big bodies. You just got to win those one-on-one battles on special teams.
Thanks for this, Coach.
Thanks.
Okay, from the Preds bench, Pete and Terry, back up to you guys.
Predators were trying to bottle the Kings up in their end on that draw on their defensive end. Now Captain Dustin Brown goes to the end wall. Seth Jones following him all the way. Martinez with the blast. That goes wide of the net. Green keeps in right side. Justin Williams on his backhand. The puck tipped out around Martinez. He then played it around Mike Fisher. Stoll shovels it in. Held up by Seth Jones. Ekholm on the left board for Fisher. Fisher spins away. Right side Jones, who flings it in. Gloved and dropped by Scrivens. Doughty. Jeff Carter. He was slowed down a bit there by Spaulding. Here's Kopitar. Putting on the brakes in the corner, feeding Doughty, and that deflected away off Mazanec in front. Kopitar over behind the net. Kopitar gets involved in the fray right in front for Doughty. He had Mazanec down, and he couldn't score on it. What a great chance there for L.A. Mazanec, having dropped his goalie stick in that scramble, looking out across the line, now realizes he can safely retrieve it.
And you talk about head on a swivel. Doughty came in off the point, Pete. That means he's a defenseman. Nobody near him in the slot. Kopitar threw it out there. Doughty heads up, took the perfect pass, made the perfect deke, and it just got a little too far past the net because he had Mazanec at his mercy on that play. Wow.
Backhander out of the right corner, his glove down there. The shot was taken by Richards. Let's take a look again at the Doughty chance just moments ago.
Look at this, Doughty. I mean, he's the only guy in the whole area in front of it, and I think he might have almost tripped over the pads.
I think he did.
Of Mazanec. Doughty comes in. Look at this, all alone. Mazanec has him, and yeah, he does. Mazanec swishes that left pad around, taking the feet out from under. So Mazanec, I guess, effectively did make the save, although the puck never went towards the net.
Right. Predators with the pass up left wing. Thrown in right wing side, causing the linesman to dance out of the way. Stahlberg there with Regeer. Coming over, and now that played out to Bourque, tipped up over the net. Swept down by Klein. And out to center. Here comes Trevor Lewis. Lewis got it back to Richards, and his shot deflected up out of the corner. Boy, Richards had to really stop at the blue line. That could have been a potential groin problem there as he put the brakes on at the last moment. Doughty back over for Willie Mitchell. Mazanec slows it down behind the Nashville goal. Matthias Ekholm pursued by Jordan Nolan. Off the wall, it comes back to center. Picked up. Whipped in by Clifford. Clifford got a good bounce in the corner off Matthias Ekholm. Nolan determined to get to the net, cut off by Gostad.
Nolan's all
hasn't he?
He's been drawing quite a bit of attention out there. Been a good, gritty, solid game. Irritating.
Helmet lost by Gostad. Here's Drew Doughty. Doughty breaking in, and the shot blocked in front. The puck was right behind. Doughty carries it out of that scrum, and the pass goes back to the Los Angeles zone.
Nobody back there, Pete, because all 4 white jerseys with the goal.
Yes,
it
that's
threw
right.
it back to the LA Kings point. Nobody there. Why? Because they all were attacking in the goal.
If anybody had been there, it would have been too many men on the ice.
No kidding.
Without question.
Whoa.
Willie Mitchell drills it in. Lundqvist watches it. The OC as he works against Brown. Green off for Martinez and return to Green. Kings very content. Has to work the puck patiently. Zanuck stops it. And Bristol was right there on the back. Predators as the pass goes from Weber up left wing side. Guided in, and Green, a rather rude hit there on Patrick Hornqvist. Hornqvist wanted to get right back to it, but Kopitar for Toffoli. Kopitar, backhand feed blocked by Weber. He got the backhand on it, back out to the line. Off the board, Voinov couldn't get there, and it slipped off the wall by Fisher into the Los Angeles zone. 3:48 to play. Second period, game tied at 1. Kopitar dumps it in. Bumping with King is Klein. Toffoli skated by. Predators come out with the puck. Craig Smith with Spaulding. Into the right side of Scrivener. Spaulding right on it. Rolled away from Craig Smith up for Kyle Clifford. Clifford and Lewis. Clifford checked right against the linesman by the Predators bench. Quite the scramble there. And the puck is lofted in by Kopitar. Kevin Klein boxing out Clifford, and the puck comes out for Legwand. Legwand with Craig Smith. Tapped away from Smith. Legwand got it back and put it underneath the stick of Craig Smith. 3 minutes remaining in the period. Doughty for Lewis. Richards lost control for just a moment, allowing Ekholm to clear it out to center. Richards puts it in right wing. Zanuck and reversed for Ekholm, and again bodies are flying again in the Nashville end. Dustin Brown to the left wing side at center. Stopped by Ekholm, put on the board right wing side as Muzzin was about to take a hit at somebody. Now he goes off to the LA bench. Doughty has Justin Williams breaking in over the shoulder. That pass. Brown, and then stopped and started by Matt Cullen out right wing. Here comes Stolberg for Cullen, trying to get it down in front, and Bourque couldn't get his shot on net. Now Justin Williams down the right wing, delaying a little bit. Steps in, fires one, rebound left in front. Mazanec was finally able to secure it with exactly 2 minutes remaining in the second period. And the score, the Kings won, the Predators won.
All right, time for our Coors Light Freeze Cam. Now take a look, a game of inches. As we move it along, we're going to look at the pad. Stop it right there. Here. There is your frozen puck sitting right there, baby. That's how close it is. Puck gets a free ride. Run it through, finish it, and it just slides off. Lift your skate out of the way. Now that is a shot for you from the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Oh, so close, but like Pete likes to say, no cigar.
I hate it when I have to say no cigar.
I know. You feel bad.
Puck is swept back for Doughty after the face-off win, Nashville zone. Muzzin's shot deflected wide. Kopitar down for Dwight King. King had a little scramble there with Shea Weber. Kopitar strong on the puck, comes out to the blue line. Doughty spins there on Fisher. Shea Weber tried to get it back to Fisher. King and Weber again, this time on the other corner. Kopitar with Yossi. Doughty the keep in and a backhanded sweep. Kopitar. Here's Jake Muzzin. Muzzin a shot and the rebound deflected to the left side off Mazanitz. Patrick Hornqvist flips it over and the puck is out to center ice. Shea Weber dumps it in on Scrivens. A little strange bounce there too. Carter finding the puck at center and dumping it in. Coming up on 1 minute remaining in the second period. The game tied at 1. Matthias Ekholm, the long pass toward Hornqvist. Tips it in. No icing here, and the puck is taken by Slava Voinov. Hornqvist breaks up the play. Chopped at and goes into the Nashville bench. 46.4 left in the second.
Hey, join us in Smashville this Monday as the Preds close out the 2013 season with a tilt against the Detroit Red Wings at Bridgestone Arena. It's a Ford Hometown Heroes Night. All educators, first responders, and military personnel receive a $20 discount off all lower bowl and club level seating and $10 off upper level seating. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at NashvillePredators.com.
Keep in mind, folks, that is the only Detroit visit this season in Nashville.
He's trying to say that, doesn't it, Pete?
Doesn't it ever?
We've had them for so many years in here. What, 6 times and down to 4?
8 times, actually, at one point.
8 times, man. Great rivalry we built up with them. They were our yardstick. They were our growing pains to see if we were going in the right direction.
Up the boards. Held in and then just tipped out. This will be an offside on Los Angeles. They tag up and it's 15 seconds to go. The Predators have the puck. Seth Jones behind his net. Left wing side. Ekholm tipped by Bork. Chopped ahead for Williams. Here comes Stoll. And his shot blocked as time runs out in the second. So the Predators had the only goal in the first. And the Kings have the only goal in the second. The shots on goal, LA with 8, the 2-period total of 19. And the Predators with a total of 9. They've had 16 on net. 1-1 after 40 minutes in Nashville. Stay tuned. Second intermission coming up in just a few moments from Bridgestone.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. By Fifth Third Bank, official bank of the Nashville Predators and Bridgestone Arena. Member FDIC. And by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers.
Patrick Hornqvist for Nashville. Anze Kopitar for Los Angeles. They are the authors of the goals in this game tonight as we examine the stats after 40 minutes. And as you would well expect, perhaps the exception being the number of power play chances for Nashville and the blocked shots favoring Nashville relatively even. Ready to start the third period. And the Predators again will have Fisher between Hornqvist and Colin Wilson. Backed up by Matthias Ekholm and Seth Jones. And that's a way, Terry, is it not? Seth Jones and Matthias Ekholm starting each period to take some of the burden that was on Roman Josi and Shea Weber last night, who both were over 30 minutes.
They both logged a lot of ice time. And as we said, the LA Kings went in with a purpose tonight. Now is to wear them down early, go to the body early. The first period, as you mentioned numerous times, they were hitting it. The hits didn't indicate it on the sheet. There's a lot more than was recorded on it. So there's some great shows coming to Bridgestone Arena, Pete, over the next few weeks, including Monster Jam, Jeff Dunham, the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. We'll go to that with you and I, and more. For information and for tickets, go to BridgestoneArena.com or call 615-770-7800.
Predators carry the puck behind the net, trying to put it out in front. Tipped behind the Predators' Colin Wilson. Stopped at the Nashville blue line and flung back in as Hornqvist got a little shot from behind there by Dustin Brown. Over the heads of many, this will be an icing call against Los Angeles. 36 seconds off the clock in the first. Terry, through the first 2 periods, there were a total of 26 faceoffs tonight. How many faceoffs would there have to be in the third period to equal the total number of last night's game in Dallas?
I'm going to guess 40-something.
60. 60! There were 86 faceoffs in last night's game.
I knew that. I was just testing you to see if you knew. 86?
That's why that game took so long to play.
No wonder we didn't leave there till 1 in the morning.
That's right. Pulled away off the end board by Dustin Brown. Shoveled in, and Stoll was able to recover it himself. Some pressure there, first of all, from Shea Weber. Tip to the line, not out. Carter holds it. His shot tipped up, and that will go out of play. So we were talking about the time on ice for Roman Josi and Shea Weber last night. Terry, how about those 2 marks?
32-23 and 32-35. Now, Roman Josi probably, Pete, is wondering what is going on out here ever since he got back from the injury, got back, shared, or
he's going to be able to ease his way in, hasn't he?
With Shea Weber. Now, I know you'll never hear them complain, but I got to tell you, when you go from like 21 or 22 up to that amount, it's tiring. It wears on you. That's why you have to be so remarkable what Shea Weber does, the horse that he and logs, the ice time that he logs, and the pressure, and the physical style of game. Now, you can log that kind of time and be a river skater.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Never get hit, never stop and go big circles. Yeah, you can live with it. But if you're hitting, grinding, pushing guys out of the way, like Shea Weber does, and playing every shift out there physically, yeah, that's a lot of ice time.
That's why there is such a huge difference between the ice time, if you will, going back in time a little bit for a Chris Pronger, say, versus a Nick Lidstrom.
But how would you like to be those guys and only using 5 defensemen?
Yeah.
And you have to log that kind of ice time and the times you're out there. Hello.
Gear goes back to get this one. Kings and Predators tied at 1. Kopitar through center. Slowed down by Stallberg. Klein squares up. Stallberg tips in behind Martinez. And Green retrieves. Leaves it in the corner for Martinez. Trevor Lewis right in front of the net. He had a lot of zip on that one. That could have been pretty dangerous. Taken out and given left wing. It's tipped into the zone over the linesman by Trevor Lewis. Lewis trying to jump on the loose puck there in the corner. He got shoulder to shoulder shoved down, and it's going to be a penalty against Nashville here. So the Predators are going to get a penalty for interference. That's the signal at 2:18 of the third period.
So Gostad going to the box for that one, Pete, and he's looking, and Coach Trotz is looking too, saying, really? So here we come, Gostad going. How can you call interference when that guy played the puck? He's the one who moved it around the corner, I believe.
You are correct.
One. And if he played the puck, he's fair game.
It was purely shoulder to shoulder. So the Kings will get their second power play. They scored in their previous. It's a 1-1 game here in Nashville. So
Trotzy's asking him, dude, come on, was that really? Said he played the puck. He was part of the play.
Referee Chris Lee over there. Barry Trotz does not have his defense lawyers with him.
Well, like we said, Pete, I've never seen one reversed, ever.
When we do, Terry, we're going to just stop the broadcast and just play, and replay it.
Yes, we are. So referee Dana Rourke making that call. Hello.
So both times the Predators have been shorthanded. It's been Gostad in the box, Terry.
Yep. I wonder if he's saying something. No, Paul's not that type of thing.
No, he's not. Here's Doughty. Off a skate it goes. Carter retrieves. Weber rips it up the side and back into the LA zone. Predators change up their penalty killers. Hendricks got a little piece of that. Nystrom and Hendricks now. And And the Kings come up ice with just over a minute remaining in the Gostad penalty. Fed out. Nystrom gets it. And that goes into the bench or over the bench. We're going to face off at center ice.
And that could have been too many men, Pete, like we got called the other achievement like that. Would have been cheap, and I wouldn't have agreed with it. And look at Nystrom saying the same thing to him. He said, hey, count the men guys out here. Suddenly you guys have gone and you can't see the whole ice surface after you just called that one on Gostad. And Nystrom was right on top of them saying, hey, gentlemen, count the bodies.
So they'll face off at center. Hendricks and Stoll. They're going to reset the clock there, but 58 seconds remain. Muzzin and Martinez, the point men. And the Predators managed to get it inside the LA line. Alec Martinez up the middle with it. Yossi sends it back in the LA zone. Pete Weber, Terry Crisp coming your way from Bridgestone Arena. Predators and Los Angeles Kings involved in a tie at 1. The Kings on the power play here. Early stages, third period.
Low.
And yes, you hear the boards rattle a little bit. Here's Jake Muzzin. His shot stopped in front. Rebound sent off up the side, but it was blocked by Stoll, and then Fisher is able to clear it. Mike Fisher cleared the puck. Now it's Bourque on with Cullen. Flipped in from outside the line. Power play is about to run its course, and the puck put right in front, but taken away by Bourque. One shot on net by Los Angeles with the man advantage. It's still 1-1, 4.5 gone in the third. Matt Cullen's pass, a little bit ahead of Bourque. Green puts it on the wall. Toffoli tapped into the Nashville zone. Matthias Ekholm. And now Kevin Klein. Well, Trevor Lewis curling back up and back to the LA bench for the change. That gives Klein some room. And Ekholm broken up at the blue line. King trying to send in Carter. It comes back for King. Kopitar comes through the picture as well, and that one is tipped out of play. 5:02 gone in the third.
Save the date for the Predators Foundation Nash Vegas Casino Gala and Auction presented by King Jewelers and Maserati Bentley Rolls-Royce of Nashville. The event takes place Tuesday, February the 4th. Fans can mix and mingle at the casino table with Preds players, coaches, and personalities. Plus, enjoy food and drinks from local Nashville restaurants. Visit NashvillePredators.com/gala to get tickets.
You got through that one pretty well, Terry.
I did. You know, it's the first time I've beaten the puck drop. I've been trying to do that for a month now. Now with Pete, I finally beat it. Yeah.
I think they've been a little bit more deliberate with the dropping of the puck tonight. That helps. Smith with the try, blocked out high, comes to Shea Weber. Weber off balance the shot, deflects to the corner. Spaulding for Legwand. Legwand out to the blue line. Off the stick of Drew Doughty. Shea Weber comes down. Legwand got the puck. Passes it back. Balling, then Craig Smith in the vicinity. The puck came away for Drew Doughty. Had a little difficult time settling it down, but he did get it out for King. Shea Weber in the Nashville zone to the right wing, and Roman Josi. Stoll in the forecheck for Los Angeles, followed up by Dustin Brown. Now Colin Wilson breaks in. Wilson got a shot, tipped there, and the rebound jabbed wide by Fisher. Scrivens still trying to tie it up, and finally he does. 6:04 off the clock in the third. Predators just missed a golden opportunity around goaltender Ben Scrivens. As the puck bounced out, Williams got in the way of Wilson.
Keys to the game, meet the challenge. They've done that hit for hit, stride for stride with the LA Kings. Another one was finish. No more scoring chances, no more almost, no more posts. Coach Trotz said we need goals, finish. Wilson starts the play, gets it, picks up the rebound, has the whole open net. He had Scriven at his mercy and just sort of flips it off his stick, wide of the net. That's one of the keys, we said, Pete. We have to finish with those chances. We We can't keep saying, like Coach Strauss was telling us, he says, we're tired of saying we had the scoring chances.
Yep.
We're tired of saying we hit posts. We're tired of saying we tipped it past the side of the net. It's not good enough anymore, the race we're in.
Justin Brown couldn't get it out. Blocked by Fisher. His shot took off high, up off the glass. Ekholm. Fisher is bumped by Mitchell. Skating by Colin Wilson. He is bumped. Seth Jones a shot off course there. Taken out by Williams. Williams down the right wing side. Holding on, dragging that shot. Stopped by Mazanec. Rebound put on the board by Hornqvist, and that goes rolling on edge back in the LA zone. Predators change up with 6:45 gone in the third period. Lewis puts it over to the right corner. Toffoli tried to pass right in front, but Bourque broke it up. Ahead of Matt Cullen. Cullen and Voynov now. Cullen tries to get position on Voynov. Onto the left wing side. Here's Cullen out of the right corner. Cullen turns. Down to his knees. Gets the puck back. Out for Ellis. That shot deflected away. Voynov gets the rebound. Puts it on the board for Tyler Toffoli. Into the Nashville end.
That's what I want to see, Pete. Every chance you get, take the shot on net. You don't need 2 or 3 passes before you pull the trigger. If on the second pass, you're the open man with a pass to the net with that shot, take it. Get it through there.
Yeah, it's not the old high school basketball coach demanding 5 passes before each shot.
No kidding.
And the puck out of play, 7:40 gone. Nightly on Fox Sports Live, Jay Onrait and Dan O'Toole bring you all the scores, the news, and highlights you need. Don't miss Fox Sports Live. Nightly on Fox Sports 1. Now to find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com and do so right now. They'll help you out, whether it's cable, satellite, or you're ripping off somebody else. Puck taken away out of the face-off circle by Kopitar. Across the line, drop for Muzzin. Muzzin coming on, and that fluttered up a little bit, but Mazanec stayed right with it.
Time for your Charter high-speed shots. Well, we're going to show you Marek Mazanec. Why? Because he's the recipient of all these high-speed shots tonight with the LA Kings coming right down at him tonight from all angles, slot areas, side areas, slap shots, wrist shots. Charter high-speed shots coming at Marek Mazanec, and only one has got by him so far tonight. Thank you very much, Mr. Mazanec.
And that a nice example that you showed earlier in the second intermission of how he was screened out by his own defenseman.
Oh, man, those are ones I'm telling you. The goalies say, get out of the way. Let me see it. If I see it, I got a chance to stop it. If I don't see it, my chances are slim.
Yeah, reduced substantially. Martinez flipped in by Nolan, who got bumped by Nystrom. We have a deflection. It'll be a face-off in the Nashville zone.
Seth Jones arguing the fact, too, that it was a high. I think we've had more indecisions with the lines that set up today. Tonight, I should say, on this one. On this crew than we've had in a long time with the officiating crew. But you can't win that battle, Pete. I've learned as a player and as a coach.
No.
They do have the last say, believe me.
You probably learned it more as a coach, would be my guess.
Yeah, it cost me a bit of money, too.
Really?
But I did learn it. Learn to keep quiet.
To the right side of Mazanec. Puck was free in front, and then it was taken away to the corner by Richards. From the point, shot wide of the net. Willie Mitchell comes down.
Dodged one on that one, Pete, coming
Big
through.
time.
Unbelievable.
Richard's shot was
Toffoli
blocked.
was the one head for the net with that one. Just couldn't get a good stick on her. He'd probably put his team up by 1.
Line. His defense partner, Ellis, got it through center. Breaking in now, Cullen, and Scrivens made the point-blank stop. Following up, trying to get it in front to Cullen again. Mitchell backhands it. Stahlberg, Voynov stops in the trapezoid. Onto the right wing, and then Toffoli just calmly flips it out on the right wing. Down the boards against Yossi. Behind the net to the corner. So Trevor Lewis staying strong on the puck. Captain Shea Weber for Nashville. Mike Fisher. Yossi brings it in. Yossi goes wide. His shot blocked by Carter. Given back to Yossi by Fisher, and that shot deflected from the front of the net. Doughty tried to put it on the boards. Blocked. Here comes Hornqvist breaking in. Tipped away from him. Kopitar tied up Hornqvist.
A nice pickpocket by Kopitar, Pete, because Hornqvist was almost home free on that one, except that Kopitar, we always call it, he pulled off a Datsu.
Yes.
That's our new expression, a Datsu. Pickpocket, take away, steal the puck.
Speaking of Pavel Datsyuk, Red Wings in town here Monday night at 7 o'clock. We'll have it for you right here on Fox Sports Tennessee if you don't have tickets. And tickets are available as well. Rifled in right wing side, and this, I thought they were going to call the icing there. The arms were up, but they elected not to. Offside, Predators tag up. Out in front, deflected. Comes back now for Smith. His shot blocked wide by Dustin Brown. Craig Smith with it. His shot tight quarters, and Scrivens holds on. 9:32 remaining in the third. The game tied at 1 as Matt Cullen had the chance, breaking in behind Voinov.
As we open tonight's broadcast, Pete and Terry talked about the record of the LA Kings since Jonathan Quick goes down November 12th. No less impressive when you focus on the road record of these two goaltenders, Scrivens and Jones, and the job that they've done since Quick goes down. No team has allowed fewer goals on the road than the LA Kings. 1.40 per game. Nobody's close. The Detroit Red Wings are the nearest rival. They're a half game more per game. You focus on the specific records of these two netminders. 4-1-1 is Scrivens with a 1.48 goals against average. Jones is 4-0-0. He's 1.23 goals against. I'll tell you, if tonight's any indication, guys, it has a lot to do with the club playing in front of these two guys as much as it does their respective goaltenders.
The LA Kings, who lead the league in goals against average, under 2. Been unbelievable what they have done. You would have thought that after Quick went down, they'd have a lot of trouble, jammed in front. The puck tapped away from Toffoli, and then a pass by Stallberg goes off the back of Bork's skate. Slides in under Willie Mitchell. Stallberg forced him to make a somewhat wild pass. A quick decision in any case. And it comes back for Shea Weber. 1-1 the score. And the pass for Craig Smith. Quick shot off the chest of the goaltender. Legwand sends it back for Yossi. Carter took a swipe at it. Legwand backhands it to the corner. Put out front by Smith and covered up very quickly by Scrivens. So we have had chances both ways.
Ryan Ellis helping out the goaltender, Pete, on the last little foray down coming through there. All over. Lewis was the one who was going to have the scoring chance. Ellis realized it, got back, give the stick a little whack, save his goaltender, help him out.
Face-off will be to the left of Scrivens. Kopitar pulled it back. Regehr then gives to Voinov. Robin Regehr up the left side. King. Weber there right with him. Regehr got it over to Voinov as Craig Smith was breaking in. Here's Dwight King. To the corner. Carter sends it back for Kopitar. Return to Carter. But Spaulding puts it onto the board. Intercepted by Dwight King. Kopitar working out of the corner. It bounces away from him back to center ice. Yossi pulls back to his defense position. Down the right wing side. It comes behind the net. Put up the board. 7:38 remaining in the third period. A tie at 1. Predators and the Los Angeles Kings. Final of 3 meetings this year. Burst to the side of the Nashville net as it turns out. Weber for Hornqvist. Hornqvist goes airborne with it. Knocked down Martinez. Now Dustin Brown. Brown with a shot deflected wide off Hornqvist. Rebound comes up for Colin Wilson. Wilson tried to spring free Hornqvist. There'll be no icing here. Doughty fields that puck in the Predators' right wing corner. Dustin Brown returning it to Doughty. Now 7 minutes remain in the third period of this game as Brown gets it out and Williams flips it in. Ekholm onto the board, out to center ice it comes, but a long way in front of Hornqvist. Angled in off Kyle Clifford. Ekholm takes it. Knocked down by Toffoli. Here's Clifford. He has Richards in front. Can't get in the puck. Back down the left wing side. 6:25 remains. Ripped around the board for Kyle Clifford. Clifford turned back over. Here's Stallberg. Stallberg cutting in the shot. Scrivens makes the stop. Didn't see where the rebound went. It is behind the net, but covered up there in the trapezoid. 6:10 remaining in regulation time.
And Stallberg's been trying to get his team a lead here late in the third period. Coming in off that side, builds the wall, heads right to the side. Scrivens staying with him, but a good attempt and a good scoring chance by Stallberg. He gets it up. He's just not quite high enough. He had the right idea on that one to finish it. So doing his best to give his team a lead here.
Now they're probably talking about, it appeared as if Clifford had covered up the puck in the trapezoid. Doesn't seem to be that animated a conversation, though. So the faceoff will be to Scrivens left. Scrivens, a product of Cornell, already a favor to the reporters for his post-game and post-practice quotes. Went a long way to go to school, Terry. He's from Spruce Grove, Alberta, and went to Cornell. Yossi's pass out at center. Spaulding and Kopitar take it away. Down the left wing, now cutting across the middle. The puck fished away from Legwand by Kopitar. Kopitar to the corner. Yossi on the end board. Put up on the board and tipped out by Legwand. Craig Smith with a burst of speed there, but Willie Mitchell got it back for Doughty. 5:35 remains in the third. Predators locked up in a real battle here with Los Angeles tonight. Puck sent in off the glass. Comes up on the left wing for Hornqvist. He angles it out. Colin Wilson over there. Regier couldn't clear it. Now Hornqvist a try. Rebound in front. Hornqvist fired it back against the body and against the grain, but it goes wide.
That's the idea. Beat Hornqvist fired it. Wilson driving to net along with Fisher. Here's things happen.
Colin Wilson toward Hornqvist. It comes back to Colin Wilson. Wilson trying to come out of that scrum on the boards, and instead the puck comes to Dustin Brown for Los Angeles. Under 5 to play in the third period. And down the right wing side, Hornqvist. Hornqvist gets it. The shot hitting the goaltender Scrivens, and then Hornqvist is taken down against the Zamboni door, and he labors back up onto his skates and off to the Nashville bench. Kevin Klein goes over with Tyler Toffoli. Richards follows up, and we have a whistle here with 4:31 remaining. And holding the stick is signaled. Predators and Kings tied at 1.
Reds on the power play thanks to number 23. Dustin Brown, captain, goes into the corner with Kevin Klein. Reaches around, takes one hand off his stick, pulls the arm around, twists him, then reaches over top and grabs the stick again. I'm sorry, Tyler Toffoli was the one doing it. He got the penalty.
Face off right side. Scrivens waiting.
I accused poor Mr. Brown of that. It wasn't him. It was Toffoli that did it.
Toffoli, yes.
Yeah.
Fifth power play for Nashville. Here is Yossi. He comes all the way right point, Shea Weber. Legwand. Legwand left side. Yossi. The shot wide of the net. Weber at the right point with it. Legwand out high on the board. Fisher tried to make the play. Legwand. And it comes back to Shea Weber again. Passes to Legwand. Hornqvist is in front. Pass comes all the way over for Yossi. Center point Weber back to Yossi. Weber. Hornqvist in front. Legwand. Zipped it past Yossi. Hornqvist. Backhand tips it. Legwand for Weber. Yossi winds up. That one deflected. Comes away for Hornqvist to Legwand. 1:08 remaining in the penalty. Weber to Legwand. Turn back for Yossi. Yossi to Weber. There's the shot. You heard it hit off the pad of Scrivens. And the pass from Hornqvist had a little bit too much on it. Predators have to reorganize at center ice. Kings a change. Fisher scores! They caught the Kings on the change. And the Predators take a 2-1 lead here with 3:18 to go in regulation.
Whoa, what a turn of events that was, Pete. The pass got away and got outside, and the hustle that Fisher showed to track that puck down and get it, to keep it alive. And he just simply hustles, wheels back down. I was figuring, hey, we got to get it back in there. He catches L.A. on the change, and it's just Fisher, Scrivens, and a cannon that Fisher fires past him to put his team up 1 goal here on the power play. So what a play by Fisher. And the biggest part of that play, besides the goal he scored, was the hustle he showed tracking that puck down to bring it back in.
Hornqvist and Weber set up Fisher's 8th of the year at 16:42 on the power play. Quick shot. Yossi got the rebound. Voinov kept it in, but the puck is taken out and backhanded in down the right wing side by Gaustad. So the Predators lead it 2-1. Regeer from center red. In on Mazanec. Kopitar with a feed, stopped by Mazanec, and the puck cleared back to the Los Angeles blue line and inside. So Hornqvist and Fisher have scored the Predators' goals tonight. Each has assisted on the goal by the other. Weber and Jones also with assists tonight. Now the Kings, a backhander from the side. Wrap-around try. That one is stopped. Seth Jones takes out the traffic jam. He got dumped. Here's Hornqvist coming on. Predators get a change. Oh, and Hornqvist got rocked against the wall by Martinez. Picks it up. Got a shot off the shoulder of the goaltender. Ahead now for Dustin Brown. Fired up for Hornqvist. He'll send it deep in. 1:55 to go. Predators lead it 2-1 here on the Los Angeles Kings. Muzzin. The pass deflected away by Legwand. Spaulding goes after it behind the net. Spaulding in the corner. Taken away by Doughty. Now Smith was waiting for a pass. Down the right wing side. And a shot blocked up and out of play with 91 seconds remaining in regulation.
All right, time for your Bridgestone performance moment. Yeah, you guessed it. You know exactly what's coming at you. On the power play, Mike Fisher shows hustle, speed, turns, transition, gets in over the blue line and says, one play, might as well just pull the trigger. And he just powders one past Scrivens to give his team a 2-1 lead here late in the third period. There's your Bridgestone performance moment. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion. Thank you, Mr. Fisher, for that moment.
Big defensive draw here. Predators are 23 of 43 on the face-offs tonight. Carter in against Gaustad. Predators take it. So 24 of 44, and the puck back in the LA zone. Jake Muzzin with it for Drew Doughty. Predators would love to just keep it in there so the Kings couldn't get Scrivens out for the extra attacker. Scrivens heading to the bench now for Los Angeles. Extra attacker on with 1:13 to go. The LA net is empty. Muzzin for Doughty. Doughty is shot. Deflected wide of the net. 1 minute remains in the third period. Toffoli is shot. Deflected maybe twice. Weber gets that deflection, comes up to the blue line. Jake Muzzin keeps it going. And now with 48 seconds, the Kings up to the blue line for Carter. Chopped at by Weber. Josi goes over versus to Foley. Left side of Marek Mazanec. Given off of the shot of the score. And the Kings tie it up at 19-23. The extra attacker ties the game up for Los Angeles.
So out of a scrum, Pete, the LA Kings come up with that puck, and Carter, by the looks of it, is the man who received it. And of all the two guys, 77 and 11 are the two guys you don't want loose out there. And Carter's the man who gets loose right in the slot, and nobody on him. And how that puck got out of that scrum, I have no idea. And then nobody on Carter, and he just whistles that thing. So Carter ties it up. 36 and a half seconds left here in the third period.
As hard as the Predators have to battle for the goals, you know that one hurt. Here's the play, trying to get it out of front. Oh, and they score! The Predators jam the LA net, and they take the lead back 3-2 at 19:34.
Oh. Whoa, Pete. This crowd has been fairly quiet tonight. Carter's goal really quieted them down. And right now, answering the bell, less than about 10 seconds. And we're going to have a discussion at the bench, probably a video review on this one.
Okay, here's Colin Wilson.
And Colin Wilson brings it down the side, throws it out to the front, and it hits, I think, the defenseman's stick or the forward stick. He goes to clear it, and it could be,
might have been off Richards.
It might have been, and yet we had another Predator coming in off the side.
So this is all under review now, folks. So let's await the decision by the judges. It looks like it would be Mike Fisher's goal. All the life was sucked out of the building when Carter scored his extra attacker goal at 19:23. Do the Predators, in fact, have a 3-2 lead? That's being determined now. Puck comes across. Players themselves screening this out. But you can see the puck in the net there. We'll get a look at the overhead as well.
I'll tell you, the best look is the player going behind the net right now in the gold jersey. I can't figure who that one is, but he's got the hands up immediately. There's two of them in behind there looking at it. So let's take a look at the overhead and watch right in this area here to see where that puck comes in. And it is over, yes. He gets to it, but not in time. You'll see.
They're going to run that again and again to make sure it's entirely across the line.
Yes, they will. Now, if they give the word inconclusive, you're going to hear some jeering from this crowd, I'll tell you.
Here's the announcement.
The play, the call on the ice, stands goal.
Yes. So,
Fisher with 2 in the third. That's what this crowd needed.
And that's one of the keys, Pete. Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Finish.
So Carter's goal to tie it up. Assisted by Kopitar and King. Fisher's for the lead, assisted by Wilson. As that long shot in is stopped by Mazanec. Tried to clear it. Voinov went leaping. That LA net empty again. 12 seconds to go. Going off the keep in, taken away Fisher for the hat trick. Oh, just misses the net. But the Predators take the game 3-2. So the Predators end their losing streak. Their last win had been 6 games ago against San Jose. And they pick up the win to go 17-18-4 for the Kings. They dropped their 10th of the season. The Predators ended up with 15 shots in the third period, 31 for the game on Ben Scrivens. And the Kings had a total of 9 in the third period for a game total of 28. Predators win it here tonight in dramatic fashion. 3-2. Stay tuned. Predators Live is next.